To my brothers, thank you very much. The sisters to whom I understand these words are being broadcast as well, Assalamu alaikum. It's very humbling to be here with you, to be invited to share a few words. And I'm so appreciative of what's been taught, the things I've learned, how I've been edified, but as well as the warm hospitality you've given me. In fact, it's been very warm. Give me a second here. Much better, yes. As a Christian, I would like to start my remarks by saying Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim, because I believe very firmly that the Almighty God is the most beneficent and the most merciful. And I would hope that what I say and the life I live after I speak with you is one that can be said to be in His name. So I've been asked to speak about the theme very briefly, which is love for mankind. And I want to talk about three aspects of love for mankind. In fact, these are three aspects that, as wonderful as this country, Australia, is, are challenged here in Australia. And that you play an important role in strengthening. And these aspects are faith, family, and forgiveness. And I choose to speak on these three because love for mankind, it can be learned. This is something that can grow within all of us. But there are three areas where we can best learn love for mankind. One is in our faith communities. Now, in Australia, studies are showing that there's a diminution, there's a reduction in affiliation with faith communities or religious traditions. That many people are claiming none, or that they're spiritual but not practicing. One of the challenges that this gives us for love for mankind is that within the many faith traditions that we see in Australia, we're taught how to do this. We're given commandments, in fact, to love mankind. And so if we don't have this structure, we don't have these teachings, I fear that our ability to understand how to love mankind will be reduced. So this is a serious challenge to love for mankind. The second one is family. Now, family to me is a sacred structure given to us by Almighty God. And one of its great benefits is it is the perfect environment in which we can learn to love. We're shown how by a mother and a father who love each other. We learn to share and love despite the challenges that our siblings may present to us. But there's been no better institution ever presented in the history of humankind than the family for teaching us to love. Yet, increases in divorce, challenges to what it means to be married, and the expectations between husband and wife as they continue to change, means that the family itself as a unit, as a place where we can learn to love mankind, is being challenged and even weakened. Now, the third one I wanted to speak about. Now, if you notice, I started large. I talked about faith, right? And then I went to a little smaller to our families. Now, I want to go even more narrowly and talk about forgiveness. Because forgiveness of one another, even forgiveness of ourselves, that to me is a quintessential, the perfect example of what love for mankind is. How can we claim love for mankind if we aren't willing to forgive our brothers and our sisters, or even ourselves? How can we learn to love or feel the love that is out there for and from our brothers and sisters if we don't accept that forgiveness and if we don't offer that forgiveness to them? And yet, in today's world, these ideas of forgiveness and what it takes to forgive, including humility and patience and long-suffering, they're not seen as important. In fact, they're kind of ridiculed. Instead, strong, refusing the need to forgive or to receive forgiveness, the value in vengeance. All of these things are touted as true characteristics today. And because of that, I fear that our ability to love mankind is again challenged. And so, in just these brief minutes that I have with you, I want you to know that my prayer is that you will be blessed. You'll be blessed as you practice your faith, that you be blessed as you strengthen your families, and that you be blessed as you forgive yourselves and as you practice and strive to forgive those about you. And I ask this prayer to the Almighty God because it is needed in the world today, and you are needed in the world today. Thank you very much.